So let me know. So Chris, you don't have cats or pets or anything, do you, at your new apartment?
I don't.
So I will be getting on a plane in 54 weeks and staying with you as we watch WrestleMania.
Yes.
And 40 indie shows.
Yep. WrestleMania 35 official for New Jersey 2019. It's exciting. Good times.
Good times. Hey, class. Hey, team. How's everyone doing today?
And welcome, everybody, to episode 53 of Two Guys, One Sport. That really threw me off. I'm not going to lie. That really threw me off.
Friend of the show, Duke and I did that a few times.
Nice.
When you were gone, when you were I don't want to say on sabbatical, but you were gone for an episode. So Duke and I did that.
Nice. Yeah, it was. It's nice to be here and to not have internet connection issues this week. That's a good thing. Turns out, the internet connection issues I had last week were because of the giant nor'easter that we took, and not the same shit that I've been dealing with in my building, like for the past month. So,
are you safe? First of all, you're good.
Oh yeah. I mean, here's the thing: the nor'easter hit. The nor'easter was bad, but the snow was gone in like a day.
Okay. Yeah. You don't fuck around.
Yeah. It was so good because it was like it happened and then it was over and then like I had my internet issues, but other than that, it was like I just didn't have to think about it even ever again. So hello everybody in chat. Matt, Roundhouse, George, Tanya, other Matt, everybody. Welcome. Good to have you all here.
Chris, are you gonna be eating a Snickers for lunch tomorrow?
I think I am going to. I think
I will not because I don't like peanuts. I like peanut butter.
I don't either. I'm not a
peanuts.
peanut person. I'm not a peanut person normally, but I think I'll make an exception in this case.
I'll have to find something that the company makes. Maybe they also make Three Musketeers, which is like my favorite chocolate bar.
Oh yeah, same company.
I love a good Three Musketeers.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's all. Like,
it's all Mars.
Yeah, it's all Mars.
Then I'll just have some M&Ms. Plain M&Ms are what's up. I'm a big fan.
There you go.
What are we talking about besides the Snickers?
Well, we've got a lot of recaps to talk about. We've got Fastlane. We've got the first 2 rounds of the New Japan Cup. We've got WXW 16 Carat Gold, which we didn't even get to talk about last week because everything fucking died.
Yeah. I really tried, but you are the radio guy for this show. So when it came down time to me to talk extemporaneously for 5 minutes in a row, it was a little touch and go.
I listened back. You did all right. You did good. It was when the call got cut off in the middle of you talking about Cody and Kenny Omega and all that. It was like
many thanks to Tanya and chat because a lot of her messages gave me something to go back and forth on.
Yes, excellent.
So thanks Tanya.
Tanya the best.
Yeah, she's
love you,
awesome.
girl.
She's awesome.
All right, but yeah, we got a lot of recaps. We've got Snickers to thank. This show is not sponsored by Snickers, but we would gladly accept a sponsor. Or here's a little twist on things: we will gladly sponsor Snickers because they did a good thing this week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But first, we've got our matches of the week, and I'm going to go first this week.
Sure.
I mentioned this. I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I've had this match in the bag for a little while. I've been holding out on it, so I'm gonna bring it out this week. George, you are familiar, of course, with the wonderful War of the Worlds events that New Japan, CMLL, ROH, and RevPro put on.
Yeah, Fantastic Mania, right?
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah, they all fall under that War of the Worlds banner. Some of them are actually called War of the Worlds. Other ones have other names, but it's all these wonderful co-branded events that give us great matchups that we wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And there was one that I found that I was really, really interested to watch because it really presented something very unique. So to set the stage for you, the year is 2015. The month is October, and Mr. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, is fresh off his second G1 Climax win and is riding high.
That's the one against Nakamura, right? In 2015? Yeah, I love that match. Love that match. Remember when Nakamura cared?
Yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Werther's Originals remembers too for going that route. But Yeah, so Tanahashi's riding high. He's got his briefcase. He's looking forward to facing Kazuchika Okada again at the Tokyo Dome, which is his playground. It's his home turf. He knows he's got it in the bag. But first, he has to go through 3 months of hungry challengers all anxious for a shot at that briefcase, even just a shot at the briefcase, as was the case here, when Tanahashi rolled into Reading, UK, to face one Big Damo, who you might know better now by his new name, Killian Dane, the Beast of Belfast.
I'm a big Killian Dane fan.
The head cracker in NXT, resident.
Did we talk about last week why I love Killian Dane?
I don't think we did.
Was that last week?
That was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Let me tell you why. Give you a match week, and then I'll tell you about why I love Killian Dane.
Yeah. So a couple of things that I need to note about this. One thing is the shave your back chant that Killian Dane / Big Damo endures is not exclusive to NXT. The Rev Pro crowd actually gave it to him here too, but whatever. That's just going to be what it is. He's a big Irish brute, and he's not going to shave his back. So fucking get over it.
He's a big old fat angry guy who wrestles like a big old fat angry guy. I love it.
Yep.
As much fun as it is to watch like Keith Lee and Blast McMaster and do flippy do shit, sometimes you just want a big old ogre just doing big old ogre things, you know? Just mauling guys.
Another thing to note is that kudos are owed here to William Regal, Triple H, and all the crew down in NXT who know when things are cool and know when to retain things that are cool. You know, despite the name change from Big Damo to Killian Dane, he's still the Beast of Belfast. He's still got a fucking badass finisher that's named Ulster Plantation, which is one of the most unique names of any finisher in all of wrestling worldwide. And he still has all of these other amazing signature spots that just make him look like a fucking beast. He's got that amazing bicycle kick. He's got a wicked-looking running drop kick. He's got the amazing senton, the vertical splash, everything. And this match is a typical moment of Tanahashi hubris being smashed back down to earth by a hungry opponent. And from there, Tanahashi needs to fight his way back. Because Tanahashi comes into this match all flair, all confidence. He's doing the air guitar. He looks... he looks like he's on top of the world. Damo, meanwhile, comes into this match fresh off a loss by inches the previous night to Shinsuke Nakamura. He was inches away from beating Nakamura, and instead he lost. And he was pissed, needless to say. So Tanahashi comes out the gate doing his air guitar. Damo is clearly not impressed. And within about 2 minutes of this match, Tanahashi is already on the back foot, completely overwhelmed. He tries to pick up Damo for a body slam, not once, but twice. And both times, Damo's just like, you fucking kidding me, dude? Really? And the third time that Tanahashi goes for it, Damo just brings his weight down on top of him and goes right into a cover for it. At one point, Tanahashi goes for a slide out the ring, and Damo dodges it, just uppercuts him straight into the barricade, and from there takes him around the ring, each one of the ring posts, lines him up against the ring posts, and just straight shot right to the gut of Tanahashi, just destroying his back for the entire match. And Tanahashi, being 38 years old, sells having his back fucked up better than most because his back probably actually really did hurt a lot from all of that. So, yeah, Damo pulled out all the stops. About 2/3 of the way into the match is when Tanahashi started his big comeback. He had a couple of small comebacks that were quickly thwarted, but the one moment that really got it started was Damo went for his spot where he stands on the dude's chest and then jumps into a senton. And Tanahashi rolled out of the way at the last second, so Damo missed the senton. And from there, it was just a back-and-forth striking battle of just epic proportions. Because Tanahashi, despite being outweighed by Damo by about 100 pounds, was at that point giving as good as he got because Damo had tired himself out from being from working on the top for most of the match at this point. And Tanahashi was able to mount his comeback through a series of quick dodges and just good tactics of avoiding Damo's offense. This was I want to say, like, this was the start. Like, we talk about now how Tanahashi's like the broken old man who thinks he's still got it, but this match was like the prelude to that, where Damo was getting just destroyed by a guy 10 years younger than him and has to actually use his wits rather than his sheer power to win the match. We didn't see that as much throughout 2015 and 2016 as we are seeing it now in 2017 and 2018, but that was definitely the prelude to that. Tanahashi won with a high fly flow. Afterwards, Damo picked up the briefcase and then bowed to Tanahashi and handed it off to him in a nice show of respect, and walked to the back. Head fallen in defeat. But nonetheless, a great match. Definitely worth the watch from War of the Worlds 2015 in Reading, UK.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I have my next 2 matches of the week lined up in my head.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to watch one more before then. I got the next 2 coming up before Mania, and then I got one more right before Mania. So maybe I'll do Tanahashi Okada from Wrestle Kingdom 2016. 2016, which is just a sensational match. Right. Any Tanahashi Okada, but I love the Lion in Winter as a story and as a movie. Peter O'Toole, Katharine Hepburn, young Anthony Hopkins, great movie. Yes. But I love that as a story. Just the old guy who just can't quite get it done anymore. You know?
Yeah.
You're just good enough. You're good enough to beat the undercard guys, but you can't hang with the main eventers.
Yeah.
But every now and again, the old man with the knee brace can get it done when he needs to.
Yes.
I like that story. And I like it even more for Tanahashi that he is delusional about it.
Yeah.
He still thinks he's the ace, and he still thinks he's 1 in 100, and he's still, it's like the guy who buys the Corvette because he's only fooling himself and dates the girl who's 5 years too young for him because he's only the guy who we know what I'm talking about, the midlife crisis guy who's only fooling himself. So for Tanahashi it works a lot.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna do the mixed match challenge. I love these matches, Chris. I love you watch these matches?
I watched a few of them. I haven't caught every single one, but I've been catching.
They're not work rate specials.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
It's like 17 minutes long, start to finish. It's on Facebook, so you can watch it on your phone in bed because I don't have a TV in the bedroom or whatever. And the character work is so fun. This week we had Lana and Rusev versus Charlotte and Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, wife swap. Ah! I've been saving that one in the back pocket. This match featured a lot more intergender physicality than previous.
That was a lot funnier than it should have been.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Well done.
Now and again, a lot more intergender physicality. The women and men were standing there in the middle of the ring, and Lana went to slap Charlotte, and she moved, and she just laid in the Bobby Roode. And then Charlotte went to shove Lana, and he moved, and she shoved Rusev to start the match. The match goes on. It's fine. I mean, when Rusev and Bobby Roode are in there, it's a very paint-by-number match. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with a paint-by-number match. Lana is limited. Limited. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a real good mood tonight. So limited in the ring. Like Charlotte is literally leading her by the hand. Taking her by the hand and telling her where to go stand in the ring. Like Lana is so slow that Charlotte starts to bump a quarter second early on like these chops. She's doing this. Lana does this spot where Charlotte's on her knees and she starts chopping her in the chest. But because Lana has like no rhythm, Charlotte starts to flinch before the hand hits her because she thinks it's going to hit her.
Yeah.
Because she thinks it's an order, right? It's a cadence. You know what I'm saying? And the match builds up. It comes back. Whatever. The match is fine. I like this. A lot of cool character work. A lot of trash talk. A lot of stuff like that. Yeah. I like this ending. Here's the ending. You ready? There's been like 4 straight weeks of cool endings in the mixed match challenge. The endings are always a lot of fun. So Lana and Charlotte are doing their thing, and Lana gets the hot tag. So by rule, Charlotte has to tag Bobby Roode, right? Because this isn't, Lucha Underground. So Charlotte turns around and goes to look for Bobby Roode, but he's dead on the outside, like facing the apron, selling death, not moving. So Charlotte looks around and there's no one there, and Rusev's standing there smiling, and the ref's like, are you gonna forfeit? And Charlotte's like, no. And so Rusev stands there and goes, hit me. And Charlotte just slaps the shit out of this guy, chops the shit out of him. And Rusev just stands there and looks at it and goes and dusts his shirt off, dusts the thing off his shoulders like he's Jay-Z. And goes, hit me again. And she just wails on him again. And again, like 4 or 5 times, to the point where poor Rusev's chest is like bright red. He's no selling the shit out of this, but you can tell that she's just whipping the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
Eventually, Bobby Roode comes to, sneaks in behind Rusev, hits him with a DDT for the win.
Nice.
Cool finish.
Yeah,
now,
that's smart.
There were some people on Twitter who were complaining about this finish. Now, let me tell you what did and did not happen real quick.
Okay.
At no point did Rusev ever threaten Lana or Charlotte, excuse me. He didn't like grab her by the hair. He didn't even make any gesture to her. He didn't ball his fists. He didn't raise his hand. He stood there with his hands behind his back and let Charlotte slap the shit out of him, and then laughed at her when nothing happened.
Yes.
Like that, he never threatened her. He never moved towards her. He never moved his feet. So, few things. One, Rusev is like 3 bills and is barrel chested. He should be able to no-sell Charlotte's chops, even as great as Charlotte is.
Yes.
Right? I'm willing to go with you for a little bit in terms of the suspension of disbelief. Like, if Charlotte slapped me, I'd be dead. I would.
Oh yeah. Same here.
R.I.P. Jordan.
I would be just I would feel like my lungs collapsed basically.
I'd be dead. You could have all my stuff.
Nice.
Yes. And if Charlotte slapped James Ellsworth, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But in no world should Charlotte slap Rusev and Rusev do anything other than stand there and laugh at her. And eventually, and here's my segue, the dick face heel got what was coming to him. And he lost.
Nice.
So one more thing before we go on to where that segue is going.
Mm-hmm.
This company does nothing subtle. We've discussed this before. Corey Graves, like 5 or 6 times, was insinuating that Charlotte and Bobby Roode are an item.
Yeah.
Weird as fuck. Was that on this show I talked about that, or was that on Shooting the Breeze? How weird it is. How Charlotte and Roode's relationship is kind of weird from Charlotte's perspective.
I don't think we talked about that here, but
okay.
I can definitely agree with that.
It's not the age thing. I don't give a fuck about the age thing.
Yes, Trill. Rusev is a heel. I don't care what anybody says.
He's a heel.
Rusev
he was
Day.
Definitely a heel here.
Yeah.
He was 100% a heel here. I think it's kind of strange that Charlotte has a crush on a guy whose gimmick is that it's Charlotte's dad.
Yeah,
that's a little
the Salvation Army Ric Flair.
Yeah, but that's a little Lysistrata. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
the female Oedipus complex. It's a little weird, but
yes,
of course, because WWE does nothing subtle, they were talking about it the entire time. Graves and Beth Phoenix. But so it goes. The announcing in this company is kind of crappy. We know this, and the way they present their stuff is kind of crappy. But you know what? I like these matches a lot. They're always fun. They're nothing matches, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. Like, you know how you watch a New Japan match and you're like tired afterwards?
Yeah, well, the main event, yeah.
Yeah, you watch like a New Japan main event and you're like exhausted. Well, first of all, because it's like 4 a.m. Second of all, because your emotions have been on a ringer.
Yeah,
like
it's like you need a cigarette after the match.
Yeah, I did a cigarette and a glass of whiskey. But you watch one of these matches, they're just fun. They're fun. They're 2.5, 3-star matches. The talent loves them. You can tell, because these guys and girls aren't that good of actors to be enjoying themselves at the level they are. You know? Yeah. So a lot of fun.
You can't convince me that Braun Strowman isn't loving the hell out of tagging with Alexa Bliss.
No, exactly.
Not a fucking chance.
No chance. And even like the weird odd couple stuff, like Nakamura and Natalia are having a blast. Like
Miz and Asuka, yeah.
I thought this. I will take the L on this mixed match challenge. I was not looking forward to this at all. I am a fan of these matches. They are good. And you know what?
It worked.
And after watching Shane McMahon's horrendously bad sell job.
Oh God. No. Moratorium. Moratorium on
imitation. God. He was either giving birth. He was either giving birth or taking the biggest shit of all time.
This is a mandate for the entire rest of the show for as long as this show exists. Just like we're never imitating the noise that Triple H made after Roman speared him through the floor back at TLC 2015, we are never imitating the noise that Shane McMahon made after he got murdered by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
God, that noise!
Never imitating.
He was either having a horrible childbirth or taking the biggest shit of all time. That's the noise. I guess both. I mean, in terms, but like. And you know what? And because it's me, and because I get fucking triggered with this, fuck you and I, Shane McMahon, for deciding to sell for Owens and Zayn and not selling for AJ Styles when you put your fucking head through a car window.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
I do. Oh, how about fuck you also, Shane McMahon, for not selling the fucking triple power bomb after you took it from the Shield twice.
Yeah.
And instead, you were just right back up on one arm, staring down
car window. You get thrown through a car window, and you're back up You're back up in 10 minutes, ready to make a match.
Yeah.
But you know what? You decide to whatever that noise was. Actually, the best part about it, the absolute best part about that beatdown, is he gets the mafia kick or the haluva kick. He gets the power bomb in the ring. They put the chair on his neck and throw him into the ring post. And he doesn't make any noise. They drag him through the back. He doesn't make any noise. The camera cuts away for a second, right? Cuts back to him, and then he starts to cough and sell. So someone must have said, hey, Shane, you got to start selling? When all the people were back there in Gorilla. And he was like, oh, fuck, I forgot. And then he starts to, God, this guy's so bad. He's so bad.
The wrestling cosplayer. Why is this
show centered around him? He's terrible.
Yeah, Tanya, he didn't get up after Roman speared him at Survivor Series because Roman almost killed him for real, I'm betting. But you know what? Whatever.
Roman saved his life. No. Roman saved his life. When he speared him off the coast to coast,
yeah,
Roman grabbed him and set him to the mat as gently as he could.
True.
He saved his life, because if Roman had actually speared him, his head would have bounced off his body.
Probably.
No. The fact that Shane McMahon is still, walking among the living is because Roman did everything he could do to make sure that he wasn't going to kill this man.
Yes.
It was brutal and it looked bad, but it could have been 4 million times worse.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope every year on Survivor Series, Shane McMahon sends Roman Reigns a thank you card.
Oh yeah. Fucking bottle of Jack.
Yeah, whatever.
Bouquet of flowers for Galena.
Thank you for saving my life.
Always for all the kids. Thank you for ensuring that I got home to see my kids that night.
Yeah. No, Roman concussed him. No, Matt, you're right. Roman concussed him. But he could have legitimately killed him. He could have, and that's not Roman's fault. Let's be very clear here. That's Shane's fault for not knowing how to jump and not knowing how to land.
Yeah,
like Roman did everything he could to make sure that that his boss's kid wouldn't die.
Yeah, you want to know something? Going back to my match of the week. You know who does a better coast to coast than Shane McMahon?
Killian Dane.
Yep, fucking Killian Dane, also, who is 300 plus pounds, does a better coast to coast than Shane McMahon.
Speaking of Shane, he was like out of breath walking to the ring.
Yes,
he can't wrestle. Now he's going to be put in the three-way, which is a three-way is I guess okay because a three-way is I guess okay because he can hide for most of it. Like one guy can hang outside the ring for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it'll either be a three-way or it'll be a handicap. But I mean I'm betting.
Oh God, no. So this is a good segue. We have a WrestleMania card more or less. I think we have like 12 matches official, right?
I want to start the WrestleMania preview next week because we got 3 weeks of WrestleMania previewing. Let's go back to the event that actually happened this week, which was Fastlane.
Oh, yes.
which was this
point.
past Sunday.
Real quick before we dig into the show, did you like or dislike or neutral the show overall?
Before I answer that, what the hell, Wikipedia? Who allowed this? If you go, I don't know if this is still going to be here after I hit refresh. But right now, I opened up the Fastlane page before we went live, so I would have the results here. And I scroll down. The listing for the main event is as follows: Hank Hill defeated Beavis and Butthead 2-on-1 handicap match with Mike Judge as special guest referee. I shit you not.
You know, I would watch that match.
I'm gonna screen cap this and I'm gonna post this on the show.
Beavis and Butthead nothing but skinny pencil neck geek anyways.
Yes.
A lot of super kicks. A lot of super kicks in their arsenal, right?
Absolutely. Anyway, so
did you like this show? Did you not like this show? Or were you neutral overall?
Overall, I was pretty neutral on this show.
See, I was neutral going into the last two matches, and then I really liked the last two matches. So by proxy, I think I like the show. I like the show more than Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I can agree with.
Is that fair? I think that's solid B- B show. I like the show. I like those last two matches a lot. And there are parts of the rest of the show that I liked a lot too.
I'm going to give it a C+ just because the bad moments on this show really kind of stick with me a lot more than the good moments. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go through it.
Okay. Let me pull up my notes. Pre-show.
Pre-show 6-man tag. We had Breezango and Ty Dillinger versus Mojo Rawley, Chad Gable, and Shelton Benjamin. I actually didn't mind this tag. I thought this was actually all right.
It's all right. I mean, I was like half paying attention. Tyler Breeze's drop kicks missed by like 1.5 feet.
Yeah, well, I will say this. The reason why he and Fandango didn't look good is because they haven't wrestled a serious match in who the fuck knows how long. Months at this point.
True.
So
none of these guys have.
Props to them for actually trying to do something. Mojo's had a couple of serious matches. Gable and Benjamin have had a couple of serious matches, but Dillinger's been sitting in catering, and the face side of this 6-man tag has been doing all of nothing since Survivor Series, if not.
Remember when there were people who thought Ty Dillinger had a better future than Andrade Almas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
I remember those days on the website we used to frequent. On the website we used to frequent, and friend of the show, KM Tierney, would like pull his hair out and be like, "You guys are all morons."
Yeah.
Got your back, Tierney.
Tierney knew what was up. Tierney knew what was up.
Tierney, CMLL extraordinary watcher, knows what's up. We remember those days.
He knew his shit.
I remember those days. Member berries, So yeah, whatever. It was a pre-show match. 1.5, 2 stars, whatever. Who cares?
Oh, it's still there. I refreshed the page and it's still there. So yeah, if you want to go to the Wikipedia page for Fastlane right now,
I believe you. I just have no interest. So
yeah, it's fine.
Nakamura Rusev. I love Rusev. I love Rusev in full blown. I like the end of this match. People love this match. I did not love this match. Rusev in full blown. I don't give a fuck mode is awesome though.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's going nowhere, so he's just like, fuck it. I'm gonna have good matches. Also, here's a question for you. Something I've been calling for about a year now. If WWE isn't going to do anything with Rusev, can he just go down to NXT and kill guys?
Yeah.
I would be okay with a much more two-way talent exchange between NXT and the main roster. It would be very territorial. Like when a guy was in a territory for 6 months and he got stale, he'd go to a new territory. Yeah. And then he got fresh, and then he'd go to a new territory, and then he would keep working the gimmick. Like you can't tell me you would not be happy if Bray Wyatt was off WWE television for 6 months.
I would have no problem with that. But here's the thing. Though. The problem is that Rusev doesn't need to just change territories. He needs a complete fucking reboot. I don't care what anybody says that, it's a completely different thing. No, it's not. He's still the same jackass who just hates everything and thinks he's better than everybody else. It's basically every heel in WWE. And Rusev has just been maintaining the same caricature stance for 3 years now, and I'm fucking tired of it. Okay, move on, move the fuck on already. This is like, if we're looking at like a wheel, like a circle. Circle is 360 degrees. And obviously 0 and 180 are directly across from each other.
One day after Pi Day. Good segue.
Yes. If 0 is hero of the Russian Federation, Rusev Day is at most 10 degrees away from hero of the Russian, from 0, from hero of the Russian Federation.
It's different, but it's only superficially different.
Exactly. That's why I say it's only 10 degrees.
Here's the difference. Oh, here's something that irks me, and a lot of wrestlers do this, and a lot of wrestlers do this all over the world. When you're a face or a heel, they all work the same style. This annoys me, Chris.
Yes.
Like I don't want very, very few guys, AJ, Omega, Okada, off the top of my head, work totally different styles than when they're faces and when they're heels. Like, a lot of guys just work the same style. Seth Rollins' face and Seth Rollins' heel has the exact same moveset. What does this accomplish, man? You're not just a heel because you say you're a heel. You're not just a face because you say you're a face. Act like it, you know?
Yes.
So, I'm not at all a fan of Nakamura's weird gear thing that he's got going on. I think he needs to go back to the high boots, the solid red pants from like late 2015. So, I will say the end of this match was great. Rusev doing the bicycle super kick to Nakamura, and then Nakamura doing the full flip bump and dying. And then Nakamura bringing back the back of the knee Kinshasa. That was fun. That was great. The back of the knee Bumaye, the back of the head Bumaye, the front of the head Bumaye, the pin. That made me... I closed my eyes for a second and said, oh, this is what happens when Nakamura gives a fuck. You know, I thought this match was good. Well, it was good. It was fine. Good opening match. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed this presentation, brother Chris.
Yeah.
Here's a match.
That's fine. I've said this a million times. I'm tired of Rusev. I'm soured up on Rusev.
I get it. I get it. Not everything. We're not going to agree on everything. In fact, I'm almost positive we're going to disagree on this next match. Chris, what do you think of Orton Rude?
I am still like... I mean, it was executed well. I'll say this. The match was executed well. Both guys did what they needed to do to make this match look good. But 20 minutes for a Randy Orton-Bobby Roode match is way too fucking long, first of all. And second of all, I still don't understand why we need Randy Orton title holder in 2018. Sure, okay, great. We got his Grand Slam out of the way. He was already headed to the Hall of Fame. Now he's that much more.
Oh, that announcement, they're talking about him adding. That announcement, they're talking about him adding to his potential Hall of Fame resume. Guys, Donald Trump's in your fucking Hall of Fame, man. It's open for business. Like, and even on the wrestler side,
you're adding Kid Rock.
Even
you're
on the
adding
wrestler
Kid
side,
Rock to your Hall of Fame this year.
Coco Beware is in your Hall of Fame. You're telling me the 13-time WrestleMania main eventer isn't going to be in the Hall of Fame? Like, come on, man. Come on, seriously. Todd Phillips. What are you doing? You know? So, Chris, I like this match a lot. I really like this match. I like the beginning where they're doing counters and they're each getting the better of each other and they're rolling out of the ring and they're getting breathers. I like that everything that Orton does. He's so fucking smooth, and I love it. I like all the little stuff that Randy Orton does. I like when he works the arm, he rings it another quarter turn to get that extra torque. I like when he pins the guy, he lays his forearm on your face. He grinds that forearm in your face. You know? I like when he does his drop kicks, he snaps his legs up in the air and he nails the guy right in the head. The little stuff, man. The little stuff. I liked it a lot. This was old school wrestling. It was right up my alley. It was technically sound. I liked the beginning. I liked the middle. The end I was a little less thrilled with. I don't like the end of Orton matches being guy jumps in the air and then gets RKO'd. Like Chris Jericho did it once or twice. It's just like,
yeah, they keep going
What's the kayfabe reason for Bobby Roode to jump in the air and lead head first? What is it, Chris Benoit all of a sudden?
They keep going to this whole like, We need to top the last big RKO with another like weird RKO that we haven't
never
seen
topping the
before.
one from Mania 2015.
Retire it. You're never topping the one from Mania 31. It's just never happened.
That's never going to happen. The one that was so great, Randy Orton marked out before the cover.
Honestly,
and then he jumps in the air and he's so excited, and I don't blame him.
Honestly, like Randy Orton could have retired right after that match, and that would have been a perfect close to his career.
It would have been like, I like this match. This was you know what? This match wasn't that much different than like a Zack Sabre Jr. Timothy Thatcher grapple fuck match early on. It wasn't. You know what? Every now and I don't want to watch that 3 hours, but
hell no.
Every now and again, I don't mind a little change of pace. And when it's a guy like Orton, who I'm like the last fan of Randy Orton, you know, I'm living on the island of the Randy Orton fandom island. I'm the only one there, but I've always had a thing for the guy. He's part of the reason why I got back into wrestling the first time. I thought he did good work in this match. I thought Rude was more than okay. I hated the ending. I hated the ending.
I am only a fan of Randy Orton's entrance music and the RKO. Other than that, Randy Orton is like, he's doing negative stuff for me, especially because he's outed himself as being a complete asshole following the recent school shootings and what he's posted on social media about it. But that's neither here nor there.
The crowd pop. The crowd pop for Orton winning. And instead of having him stand strong as the champion, they had both Jinder Mahal and the loser of the match lay him down. I understand that they want to make this a three-way, but this could have been done without derailing Orton's accomplishments 4 seconds after the match ended. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the guy who lost clean gets his music played. You know?
Honestly, like, it is... This is what happens when you decide to have a pay-per-view literally 4 weeks before WrestleMania.
You have to jumpstart everything.
Everything is rushed from there. And that's the problem. They could have done so much better than this if they had just given this more time.
But I said this on Shooting the Breeze. I would not have a pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I wouldn't have one. I would just go from the Rumble, and then I would use 7 weeks of television or 8 weeks, or however many weeks it is, to build up WrestleMania. Yeah. I wouldn't have pay-per-view. I would have long-term, quote-unquote, feuds breathe. You know?
Yeah. Let the stories happen.
You have 40 writers. You have 40 writers in the most talented roster, top to bottom in the world. Or second most talented, if you like New Japan.
No, let's be clear about this. You don't have 40 writers. You have 40 yes men.
So,
yes men do not equal writers.
Employ them. Use them. So, yeah.
Next up, in a match that means absolutely nothing, Natalya and Carmella defeated Becky Lynch and Naomi. We did not get a cash in on this show.
No, my prediction was off.
This match was actually kind of sloppy at that point.
Yeah, it was. But
whatever. Like I said, it wound up meaning literally nothing, just like a lot of things on this card meant literally nothing. The biggest disappointment of the night for me, the Usos and New Day ended in a no contest after the Bludgeon Brothers came down and just beat the shit out of everybody.
Yep, and the crowd died, but then got back into it. I enjoyed this beatdown. The match itself was not very good.
Well,
the match itself was fine. The match itself was fine. I misspoke. The match itself was fine. It's just like it was not to the level I was expecting it to be at. I had very high expectations for this match, and other than the stealing each other's moves gimmick, like the match itself was not anything great.
It was the thing about Usos New Day matches. Because this feud has been going on for 18 months now, approximately, maybe only a year, but like it's been going for a while. It's been going for long enough that we can say that the matches that have been great have been the matches that have had a slow build.
Yep.
They were trying to do that here to like tease that it was going to be another instant classic until the beatdown happened, but the slow build was not executed properly, and I think that was because they weren't really sure how to do that without having a definitive finish in mind.
I like this beatdown. Props
Yeah,
to all five. Props to all five of these guys for bumping like mofos.
Everybody I talked to on Twitter thought Xavier Woods was legitimately injured.
I mean, after that, Big E was flopping around and the Usos were flopping around. Props that they did everything they could to make this match, to make this beatdown look good.
Yes,
I like the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick of slapping each other in the face before they hit their big moves.
Yes.
I like that. I like the one slamming.
That's fresh. That is original. I like that.
I like that a lot. I like the splash where the guy throws him down.
Yep.
After the body slam. Yeah, you know what? The mallets are just absurd.
The mallets need to go.
The gimmick is absurd, but underneath all that, you have a pretty good worker and a good enough worker in Harper and Rowan, respectively.
I would say Luke Harper is much more than pretty good, but that's personal preference. I think that Harper is actually rather excellent, but he's just never given the opportunity to show just how excellent he is. But that's neither here nor there. Either way,
you excited for this three-way?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Mostly because I don't know who wins, and no matter who wins, it's still a rough landscape that they have to look to going into Mania or coming out of Mania, I should say, because what do you do after other than continue to have these three teams feud amongst each other? It's not. I mean, unless they are calling up AOP right to SmackDown. It's not exactly like you have anybody else who is a credible threat to the titles in SmackDown's tag team division. Granted, SmackDown's tag team division has been the best part of the show for the better part of a year.
Leaps and bounds.
But there's still very little to it because only the teams that are in the top echelon are worth anything. I mean, yes, Gable and Benjamin can certainly slot in, but I don't think that they are. There's not much to them right now, other than the fact that they are just trash talking heels that think they're better than everybody. Oh wait, look, there's that common thread again. So
I don't know if you can have War Machine.
I
don't know if you can have War Machine and Bludgeon Brothers on the same show. They're like the same exact
War Machine is going to get a prolonged NXT run.
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't think that we're going to have War Machine and Bludgeon Brothers. I don't think we're going to be even at risk.
They're good dudes.
For War Machine and Bludgeon Brothers to be on the same show for quite a while.
They're good dudes. I told you my story when they were at AEW, right, with the little kid. I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good dudes. I wish them nothing but success.
Yeah, Ray Rowe and Hanson are really fantastic.
Best of luck to you guys. Maybe they call up Team Hungry. What the hell's their name? Heavy Machinery. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Heavy
By the way, did you watch that vignette with Heavy Machinery like training on the sled?
Yes.
And the one guy was doing curls?
Yes.
That was so awesome.
Otis Dozovich and Tucker Knight are amazing.
Otis is so good.
He's
so good. And he's in love with like every bikini model on Instagram.
Yes. His unrequited love affair with Mandy Rose is one of the greatest things on WWE social media. But yeah, no, it's like
So if you haven't seen this, guys, Otis and Tucker are training for the Dusty Rhodes Classic, and they have like one of those like football sleds, where you put the weight on and then you push it down the field,
or you pull it alternatively.
You pull it, whatever you do to it. So Tucker is like strapped in and he's pulling the sled, and Otis is sitting on the sled doing curls while Tucker is pulling him, and they're making like weird noises. It's pretty great. It is like straight out of like 1985 NWA wrestling. It's so fun.
It campy as shit, but you know what? I love it all the same.
It's so campy. But it's wrestling, guys. We're watching guys in their underwear fake fight. Embrace the camp.
Yeah. It's fun.
Not everything needs to be Shibata.
Heavy Machinery is a fun tag team. They're legitimately fun.
Not everything needs to be Shibata, Yeah. Wrestling is the circus. Sometimes you go for the elephants. Sometimes you go for the acrobats. Sometimes you go for the clowns. Sometimes you go for the ringmaster. Sometimes you go for, whatever.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be AOP, maybe TM61. But I don't think that they're going to call them up so soon after their big comeback. So I think it's going to be AOP. Like the only other team I think has an outside chance of being called up after Mania is Sanity.
I think Sanity's kind of run its course in NXT.
Agreed. But yeah, no. Overall, I am expecting that it will be AOP to SmackDown as the other credible threat team.
Speaking of guys who have gotten markedly better,
yeah,
my
boys.
AOP is quite excellent.
Yeah,
quite excellent.
Love those, man.
I would ditch Paul Ellering, and
yeah.
I believe they will be doing that in the near future.
Yeah, I expect that to happen.
But Charlotte and Ruby Riott, first of all, and I should have brought this up for the Orton match, kick-ass video.
Yes.
Kick-ass video. Great video for the Orton match, the Orton-Rude match. Great video for this match. The video guys and ladies in this company are the best in the world, and it's not close.
They are fantastic.
They're so good. Almost the point where you're like, why don't you put these videos on like Raw and SmackDown to get people to try to watch your network?
Yeah.
But we've been fighting that fight for 15 years,
Yep.
This match was really great.
It was. This was an excellent match. I thought it would be an excellent match. I was expecting it to be excellent. Ruby pulled her weight in a lot of ways and really showed herself to be a star. Charlotte has been excellent and continues to be excellent. But I think that this is going to be the match that kind of sets the Riot Squad ahead. They definitely already are ahead of Absolution in terms of just being a credible group. But I think this match is going to show that Ruby is definitely a credible talent by herself as well. People are going to look to this match as being like the standout moment for her actual arrival on the main roster. And the post match.
The only thing about this match I disliked is the spot where Charlotte has Ruby on her back and she like lifts her over her shoulders and hits her in the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. That's
fake. That's so fake. That's so fake. You don't need that shit.
I mean,
Charlotte's growing on me.
It's one thing when you're doing it like Nikki Bella does it, where it's the Alabama Slammer. Yeah. But like going into the turnbuckle with it, just
and needing Ruby Riott to like do a sit up in order for it to work.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Charlotte's growing on me. Probably because I have a date with a blonde lady tomorrow night. Maybe there's like a little osmosis or something. Maybe there's a little osmosis or something going on there. But she's her in-ring has never been in question. So
yeah.
It's everything else is her gimmick is kind of shitty, and her promos are she like just sandbags them or talks like really slow. But none of that mattered here. This was a good match. Props to both ladies. This is probably my second or third favorite match in the show. I don't know if I like this as much as the Orton match. But again, I'm the only one on the island there, so I'm weird. Like that.
This was my number one match on the show.
Yeah, I'm weird like that. Yeah, I like the main event a little more, but this match was very good. I think I made the spreadsheet. I think I went like 3.5, 3 3/4.
Yeah, this was probably this is not saying much for the year of 6-woman tags that we've had so far, but this has probably been the best women's match on WWE's main roster so far this year. If I was to say. I mean, it's not like we've had
excluding the Rumble. Are you setting the Rumble aside? Or did you like this more than the Rumble?
I like this more than the Rumble, actually. Yeah.
Okay. I won't argue with it. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that I'm missing.
Because like I had a fair number of complaints about the Rumble. For as great as the women's Rumble was, I still had a fair amount of complaints about it as well. This was a match that I had very few complaints about and a lot of positives.
I think it's WWE Women's Main Roster. Yeah. This was better than Asuka Nia from Elimination Chamber.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah. And I like that. And I like that match. This was better than the Rumble. Was this better than Sasha Asuka from Raw? Was that in 2018?
Yes, it was. But
okay.
There wasn't much to that match. The Sasha
pull up my
Asuka
match of the year thing. Let's see.
The Sasha Asuka match Like,
I got an Asuka Nia Jax match from 115's Raw that I went 3 3/4 on. So
I don't even remember that. So
from 115
but
Raw,
then again,
Asuka Nia Jax 3.75. So I have no memory of it either, but it was on the spreadsheet. So I didn't make shit up.
have to rewatch.
Yeah, Takeover Philly doesn't count. I went 4 on Sasha Alexa on that Raw. I think I went 4. I went 4 on this one too, though. So yeah, I went 4 on this one. So it's on par with Sasha Alexa. Let's see where else. Yeah. Real quick, looking at my year spreadsheet, this is the tied for the best women's match on the main roster so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, your point is well taken.
Yep.
Actually, I did have this match ranked higher than the main event, so you're right. This was my highest ranked match in the show.
Nice.
So main event.
Yeah.
Oh, Asuka. We should talk about Asuka.
Yeah. So at the post match, Asuka made her appearance and pointed to the sign, because you have to point to the sign. The sign pointing is apparently a contractual requirement between the months of January and March. And we have our SmackDown Women's Championship match set for WrestleMania. Part of me thinks that Charlotte's going to retain, and she'll be the one to break the streak. But the better sense of me says that Asuka wins and then is eventually dethroned by Charlotte later.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think that Asuka's streak ends at WrestleMania.
No.
And definitely not in her first main roster title match, that's for sure.
No.
But I definitely think that her streak will end at a major event.
Oh, God, I hope so. It better not end at some random ass Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely not.
No. It better end at a main event.
Yeah. So, hopefully it'll be Mania 35 when Asuka's streak ends. That would be an ideal time for it.
Oh, real quick,
and not just because we would be seeing it live.
Yeah, well, that would be a nice bonus
in the building for it.
Not Zed, you brought up my spreadsheet. I have a award file. Any match that I saw that goes above 3.5 stars, I put on the award file, and that way I can just use it for ease of reference. And I have it organized chronologically. It's just my own personal great matches that I would recommend to other people. Anything 3.5 and above is where you start entering into the this is a pretty good match territory. So I put it on the sheet, and then I know it for future reference. So that way, when I'm doing my match of the year, match of the month stuff, I can just look in the sheet and be like, "Oh yeah, I went 5 stars on Gargano Almas."
Mm-hmm.
When we do matches, when we do the 2018 awards, we may forget that match because it will be in January, and we'll have seen so much good wrestling between now and then. So that's why I just like writing everything down. So.
I'm still not sure if we're even going to do the awards, but
Well, I'm just saying any awards.
Yes. Any awards.
Yes. We'll do the ones. We'll do the ones for Voices of Wrestling because they were good
absolutely yes. They were great.
They were good to us. They gave us a top 10 list and they gave us plugs and shit. And they're good people.
Yeah. And they let us write paragraphs if we want.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do those again for sure.
Yeah.
I talked to Rich at AEW and he said absolutely. Just send me an email. So yeah, we'll get back on that list again for sure. So either way, I need a list of matches that go on a top 10 list.
Yes.
So that's why I write them down. Let's see. Main events.
Yeah. The opening of John Cena just AAing everyone.
Straight out of the Indies. I loved it. This whole match was straight out of the Indies.
That was a good start. Like, at first I was unsure if I liked that or not, but now I'm a little bit more convinced enough to say that, yeah, that was a good start. The middle bits, the typical, this is what happens in the WWE multi-man match when everybody just, kind of loses the thread and goes insane. Those were not great. Like Ziggler getting thrown out into the crowd and Corbin following him and then getting put through the freaking glass. I was like, what the hell you guys doing right now? That was dumb. Sammy and KO hockey punching each other obviously never gets old, but it's like, okay, when are we going to see like a variation on this theme? And then Shane getting involved really just fucking like that kind of ruined that whole bit there with Shane getting involved.
Yeah. I don't need to see Shane McMahon ever again. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
done.
I'm tapping out. This is me tapping out. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I'm tapping.
Like,
I'm not even tapping out. I'm pulling a Tetsuya Naito and I'm verbally submitting. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I'm done with Shane McMahon. I'm done. Get off my television.
You know what I'll say? The only time I want to see Shane McMahon again is when he's standing next to his dad getting threatened by Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
that's the only time I
wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, why was he? What's the kayfabe reason for him being? You know what? Hold that thought. Let's finish this.
We'll get to Raw in a bit. Yeah.
We'll hold that thought because I normally I hate the no psychology, kick out of everything stuff in singles matches, but in a multi-man match, the match should be nothing but hit big moves, try to go for the quick pin. Like that one sequence where AJ was like trying to pin everybody right away. That makes kayfabe sense. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, at least you have other people there to break shit up rather than everyone being superhuman and finishes meaning nothing. I'm okay with that. That's how a multi-man match should be. Now, I am excited, and I said this on Twitter and I got a little blowback. I am excited to see the WWE apologists, and you know who they are, defend the John Cena being super kicked, shrugging it off, and then hitting an AA, hitting his finisher, which is straight out of every fucking independent main event that you ever see.
No, they'll defend that by saying Super Cena.
Yeah, but like, guys, it's 2018. Everyone wrestles the same style. This is how big matches work. Some of them are better than others. But like people are like, oh, that's so indie-rific. Everything is indie-rific, and everything is WWE-rific, and everything is New Japan-rific, and everything is lucha-rific. Wrestling is so incestuous. And I don't mean Charlotte and Bobby Roode. Wrestling is so incestuous these days, Chris, because everybody works every style. Everybody watches every style. Everybody trains with everybody. So they all do each other's shit. And that's okay. It's fine. Like, we have heard for years now that that a lot of WWE talent has Wrestle Kingdom watch parties. Live. On the road.
Yep.
I guarantee you that in Japan, they're watching WrestleMania live.
Oh, without a doubt.
In the morning. And I guarantee you that everyone's watching CMLL live. And everyone's watching the big indie stuff. All these guys and ladies love the business. They eat, sleep, breathe, and shit professional wrestling. So why wouldn't they want to adopt the style of their friends and coworkers? So it just irks me when people talk about, oh, it's so indie-rific. Oh, it's such a WWE style match. Guys, take a step back. Take a step back, man. It's all the same style.
In the immortal, although not quite eloquent words of Lauryn Hill, everything is everything.
Oh man, one of the best. One of the best. Yeah. Miseducation is one of the top 50 album in my lexicon. Just a sensational piece of work.
It is.
Sensational piece of work. So damn good. Although I mean, listen to that small on
the train. That one lyric may not be the most eloquent thing in the world, but it is certainly memorable. That is for sure.
You know, don't forget you're a rock when you really are a gem too, right?
Yes.
So.
Anyway. So, but as I said last week, nothing changed here. AJ Styles is still going on to face Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania, as should be. There's no.
Oh, before you go any further, I give them shit all the time, so it is only fair for me to praise the camera guy who zoomed in on John Cena sitting in the corner, only for Cena to push the camera away and then the camera to pan on AJ Styles.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Really, really well done by whomever decided to do that spot. And I've given the camera guys a lot of shit, and deservedly so. But that was really an excellent job, and I wanted to make sure I said that.
As terrible as Kevin Dunn's camera work often is, because
that was the guy. Cena literally pushes the camera, and then the camera pans out, and AJ's standing there, like from the old to the new. You know.
Yep. All done.
You can't have a transition cut better than that.
Well done.
You were saying, I'm sorry. You were saying, and then we'll talk New Japan Cup.
First of all, like, remove Matt. Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Message deleted.
Get the hell out of here with that shit right now. I am not happy.
Man, when I was like 12 and didn't know any better, Kid Rock was great. And I love American Badass when it was Undertaker's music before it became Rollin'. Undertaker's music was American Badass and then Rollin'.
You know what I'm gonna say that's gonna probably like
1999 was a weird time, man.
No, you know what I'm gonna say right now that's actually gonna probably shock the hell out of you.
What?
Rollin' is a better piece of music than anything that Kid Rock has ever written.
It doesn't actually shock the hell out of me. No, Cowboy's a good song. I'll fight you to the grave for that. Cowboy's a good song.
No.
Cowboy's a good. No, your Cowboy's good.
Oh.
Everything else I can do without, but Cowboy's not bad.
I cannot stand anything that Kid Rock has ever done.
This weird like going from rap to rock to country, like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now he thinks he's like Johnny Cash. Like, come on, man, get the hell out of here.
I don't understand. I don't understand, but that is what it is.
So,
hell, I was in the radio business for a long fucking time, and even I don't understand most of this shit.
It's
but
whatever.
Where?
Oh
yeah.
You want to do New Japan Cup, or what do you want? You want to do Raw? What do you want to do?
I was just gonna say, let's quickly address some things from Raw.
Sure.
And other areas of WWE, since we're on the subject. Roman Reigns continues to be a fucking amazing promo when he's angry.
Except this isn't working, but that's okay. And let me tell you why.
The people who think that this is a worked attempt to make him Stone Cold are wrong. This is not an attempt to make him Stone Cold. You can't replicate Stone Cold.
No,
but
I think it's shady on WWE. I think it's shady on WWE's part, and I'll tell you why.
But this has been a thread. This has been a common thread for almost 2.5 years since Rollins had to forfeit the title. Roman has emphatically been anti-McMahon family. He had an offer from Triple H put right in his hands to go right to the front of the line in the #1 contendership, and he told Triple H to shove it. He speared Triple H through the floor after TLC when what he perceived to be an injustice by Triple H's lackeys was done upon him.
Oh, that's right. That was fun. That was a fun spot.
Yes. He then spent the next 3 weeks beating the shit out of Mr. McMahon, which, granted, probably wasn't necessary, but he still spent the next 3 weeks doing it. He beat the shit out of Triple H at Mania 32 in a terrible match, but still follows the theme. He's been defiant, arrogant, and extremely disrespectful in the face of Stephanie McMahon for the entirety of this running thread. He's always been this way since he struck out on his own. He's never had a care for the McMahon family. So I don't see why it's suddenly, he's trying to make him Stone Cold, yada yada yada. No, they're following the logical progression of the story. At least that's
my problem with this. My problem with this, and it has nothing to do with Roman Reigns, and it has nothing to do with Brock Lesnar. My problem with this, I think it is shady that this company is falsely advertising Brock Lesnar to get an angle over. If you bought a ticket to Monday Night Raw in Detroit, you were promised Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't show up. That's fucking shady.
Oh, yeah, that I'm not okay with. Yeah,
that's not, and again, not Roman's fault, not Brock's fault. But they're trying to get Roman cheered. They're trying to get Brock booed. Great, fine. It's not working. Fine, whatever. A for effort. But the promise that you're going to have Brock on the show, have Brock Lesnar be backstage, which everyone says he was backstage, and then no-show him deliberately when you promised that he would be on the show to further an angle just doesn't sit right with me. It just screams of just kind of scummy.
Yeah.
If you went to Raw in Detroit, you were promised Brock Lesnar, you were promised Ronda Rousey, you were promised John Cena. You got one of those three things. The other two, you were sold a bill of goods. I'd be pissed, Chris.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
You know?
Yeah. That is not good business. That is
no, it's bad
not
business. And again, nothing to do with Roman, nothing to do with Brock, nothing to do with Paul Heyman, nothing to do with any of the on-screen stuff.
Yeah.
It's shady business.
Yeah, that is poor.
It's sleazy, Chris. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. I am intrigued by this angle. I am intrigued by this match. I've been intrigued by this match for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's gonna be a good match.
Match will be more than good.
If Brock gives a shit, it will be a stellar match.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the match. And the angle has been better than I thought it would have been going in, to be honest. Because I was expecting this angle to be a disaster, like it was the last time. Now, there needs to be something physical between Brock and Roman very soon. I said this on Shooting the Breeze. Not a finisher, not Brock spears Roman and or Roman spears Brock and he rolls out of the ring, or Brock hits the F5, or no. There needs to be like a nose to nose, like a forehead to forehead, or they have a shoving match and all the mid-card geeks run out to separate them. Titus O'Neil leading the charge. The time for talking is over. We have 3 Raws till WrestleMania, right?
I'm predicting that Roman will defy his quote-unquote suspension and be at Raw next week, and will ambush Brock.
Sure. And then the geeks pull him off.
Yeah, that's my prediction. That
Great.
They have a pull-apart brawl.
Yeah, and you know what? And here's how this story ends. If I'm writing it, you ready? Real simple. Roman defines the suspension, jumps to the crowd, and he lays the boots to Brock before getting dragged off by security.
Yep.
That's the end of the show Monday. The Monday after that, Vince comes out, I have suspended Roman Reigns for WrestleMania. We cannot have this attitude of attacking the blah, blah, blah. And then Brock and Heyman come out and say, no, put him in that match. I want to beat his ass. And then Vince says, all right, Brock, if you're sure, I'll undo the suspension and you can have Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Chris, there's nothing wrong with what I just described.
No, not at all.
It's like that took me 4 seconds to come up with because it's simple. Yeah. Simple is good. Like if that was the angle, you would be like, oh, cool. I'm intrigued for this.
That would work. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Not hard, guys. Plus, my Vince McMahon impression sucks ass, but that's a different problem.
Yeah, your Vince McMahon impression is better than Vince McMahon does.
But my suit game nowhere near as good as Vince's, though. I will say that.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. I got no problems with that at all.
Roman comes out to the crowd. He lays the boots to Brock before he gets dragged off. Vince comes out, open Raw the week after. I've suspended Roman from WrestleMania. This is a defiance of my authority. Brock says, nope, I want to beat his ass in that match. Mm-hmm. Boom, bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing?
Oh, God. No.
WrestleMania,
no.
WrestleMania main event.
No. No.
So.
No. We're not
else?
doing that. Never again.
Chris, the sun goes down. The sun goes down. The sun goes down. So.
Never again.
Sun goes down. The sun. Good. The sun's going down. All right. We good?
Tanya, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah. I'm enjoying the angle. Like the no selling of the false advertising bit, I'm not okay with, but everything else
I'm not okay
about
with,
it.
But that's independent of what's on the screen, though. Yeah. That's the false advertisement is independent of what is going on my television screen.
I knew I was gonna love this angle the moment Roman Reigns said Brock Lesnar is an entitled piece of crap that hides behind his contract. I said, "Oh, okay, we're doing this. I'm in. Sign me the hell up. All chips on the table. Give it to me."
It's like 400 times better than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. To go from I can, I will to I'm not afraid of that bitch in 3 years.
This is what I asked for, Chris. I said this is what I asked for. I said, I don't want Roman the underdog. I want Roman the fucking conquering hero. I want the beast who's destroyed everybody versus Roman who's destroyed everybody. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't complain. That would be incredibly hypocritical. And I don't even have any complaints, even if I wanted to. This is good. This is good. I care about two things on Monday Night Raw. I care about Ronda. I care about this angle. So,
yeah. All
what else
right.
we got?
New
What else
Japan
we got,
Cup. New Japan Cup.
New Japan Cup.
I didn't really have anything else for Raw. Did you have anything else for Raw? Like, I didn't really care about anything else.
You have? Yes, I do. We're not going to talk about the Moolah thing because they retconned that. So, whatever. I mean, Moolah's.
Thank you, Snickers.
Thanks, Snickers. Did you have a problem?
Sal, yes, I am all in for Brock Roman. That's what I'm all in for.
I am all in for that show, but I live an hour from where it's being taken place. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you have a problem with Alexa Bliss obliquely calling Nia Jax fat?
Yes. Yes, I did have a problem with that.
Tell me why.
As a person who has spent basically his entire life being told either by his peers or by society or by any number of other outside sources that the fact that he's overweight makes him less worthwhile as a person than other people, I am never okay with the concept of body shaming anybody. That is something that I am absolutely not on board for. That's first and foremost. That is point number one, and it is the most essential point. WWE, stop writing that shit. Point number two, and this is a point that I can't take credit for, but I will credit to a number of amazing female wrestling journalists on Twitter, particularly Kate at Make It Loud. If you don't follow Kate, go follow her at Make It Loud. She is spectacular. She and a number of others brought up this point. WWE having a group of 40 men writing their women's division is what causes angles like this to happen. Because these guys don't know how to write women. Women in 2018 don't fucking do this shit.
Yes.
This is not realistic. This is not how women behave towards each other. This catfighting, infighting, diva bullshit that's been going on for 20 years is not realistic. It's not. It needs to end. The concept that they're always going to be fighting with each other and stabbing each other in the back, especially in this age of women's empowerment that we are in right now, where there is nonstop support for women to build up and help other women to be better and to do more and to accomplish more and achieve more and to overcome the barriers that are placed in front of them. That is where we are at right now. The stuff that they wrote on Raw hasn't been real in, I can't even say if it's ever been real. I don't know if it's ever been real. It's like these guys have been just watching the movie Clueless on repeat or been watching Mean Girls on repeat. And that's all that they know. And that's all they have known. Yes, Tanya, I'm not going to say that there aren't Mean Girls. Yes, there are plenty that do exist, and I'm sure that you have a much better knowledge of that than me. But that doesn't mean that WWE should be promoting it, not in any way, shape, or form. That's where I am going to end this and say that WWE is promoting the worst possible forms of behavior.
I'm going to conditionally disagree with you, and I'm going to conditionally disagree with you, assuming one thing, which I'll explain at the end.
Okay.
You're not wrong by the need to have female writers on the staff, by the way. I'm not disagreeing with that point at all. You're 100% right there. And as an overweight gentleman myself, I know exactly what you're talking about in your first point. So I'm not disagreeing with you on those 2 points, but I'm going to disagree with you on a different one. For the first time in my life, I care about Nia Jax. And if she goes out there and just beats the shit out of Alexa Bliss and rips her arm off her body and beats her with it, I'm okay with this angle. I am. Because the heel will have gotten their ass kicked. And that's what we're here for. If this is WrestleMania 19 2.0, where the racist guy wins, I will not be okay with it. That's my condition.
Does
that make sense? That's my condition. Now,
yeah.
you might say, George, why are you giving him the benefit of the doubt? And I don't have an answer for you. I don't. Because why should I give him the benefit?
Considering the Jinder Mahal Shinsuke Nakamura,
why should I don't have an answer. I cannot properly explain why I'm giving this company, with its history of doing this dumb shit, the benefit of the doubt. But Chris, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, 4 weeks from tonight, when we're doing the WrestleMania recap show, fucking Alexa Bliss is still the champion, has retained her title, and Nia Jax has not been the Valkyrie of destruction. You know? Then we can re-examine this, and I will be right there with you with the pitchfork and the torch.
I think you might need it, but for the reason that my expectation is that Carmella is going to cash in on Alexa.
If Nia beats the shit out of Alexa and then Carmella cashes in,
that's probably what's going to happen.
That's fine, as long as Nia gets her vengeance. That's like wrestling 101. The heel was mean. The face said, fuck you, and then killed the heel. Like, is it cheap heat? Absolutely. It's the cheapest of heat. Dollar store heat.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, for the first time in 5 years, or however long she's been in this company, I care about Nia Jax, and I'm hoping she just beats the shit out of Alexa Bliss. Just hope that, I hope she just rips her arms out of her socket and beats her to death with her. Like Jax in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to conditionally be okay with this angle pending that outcome. But you're not wrong. They need more writers. They need more female writers. You're not wrong there. You're 100% right. So I don't know why I don't know why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I have no explanation. I just,
Yeah.
Maybe this time they'll finally get it right. So
we've been waiting a long time for that. But
by the way, if this match is setting aside, if this match is anything other than like 45 seconds and 1, 2, 3, it's going to be a really bad match.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
If this match is like 8 minutes long and Nia Jax is selling for 7.5 of those minutes, like what the fuck are we doing?
It's absolutely going to be a bad match. It absolutely is.
But as long as Nia wins, I'm okay.
It's like I don't expect it will be like more than 6 or 8 minutes.
I'd book it as a squash. I'd book it as a squash.
Because you need to give them the opportunity to get to Carmella cashing in. If they're going for the Carmella cash-in, it's going to be at least a 6-minute match.
I'd have her cash in the next night. But whatever. I'm saying if it were me and I were booking it, I'd make this 35 seconds. Get in, get out. Alexa tries to stall and tries to do like a stalling tactic, and Nia just picks her up and just slams her to the mat and kills her.
That would be, yeah.
And then, you know what? I'm okay with that because the heel got what was coming to him. I'm all about the heel getting what's coming to them. So, I'm going to conditionally, I don't want to say absolve them, but give them the benefit of the doubt. God knows why. God knows why I'm an idiot. But you're not wrong. So. Well, we don't have to talk about Moolah. Thank you, Snickers. So, anything else on Raw?
No. No, nothing.
I missed 90% of the show because I was doing volunteer work. So
I got nothing else for anything else with WWE this week other than it was fun to watch Zelina get her ass kicked by Candice again. That was fun.
Yeah, that's always nice.
New Japan Cup. New Japan Cup, yes.
I got match reports.
We've been through the first 2 rounds so far. We're down to the final 4.
Mm-hmm.
The field started with a field of 16. We started with Sonata, Chuck Taylor, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Toru Yano, Zack Sabre Jr., Tetsuya Naito, Kota Ibushi, Yoshihashi, Lance Archer, Bad Luck Fale, Taichi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Yujiro Takahashi, Juice Robinson, Tomohiro Ishii, and King Fuckface, who we will not name.
I watched every match, by the way. These matches have been real good. Well, some have been real good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got thoughts on a couple of them. I can go in depth on pretty much all of them, but I got thoughts on a couple of them if you're interested.
Sure.
How many did you watch? Ibushi and Naito, and Ibushi and Yoshihashi?
I have not gotten to see any of these yet.
Okay. Yoshihashi is like water. You know how water seeks its own level?
Mm-hmm.
Yoshihashi, if you put him in there with a bad worker, will have a bad match. If you put him in there with a good worker, we'll have a good match. Breaking news: Kota Ibushi is a good worker. They had a
I would say a little bit better than good.
They had a 4.25 star match. Funny how that works out. Let's see. Let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, Kota Ibushi is just like the prettiest man I've ever seen.
He is.
He's like Leo. He's like Leo in Titanic level pretty. He's so pretty.
He is quite a handsome man.
He's so pretty. Like, good on you. Good
Kenny
on you,
Omega.
Kenny.
Good job.
Good on you, man.
Kenny Omega, thumbs up to you. You did good for yourself, man.
Let's see. Oh, love this spot. You ready? So Yoshihashi goes for the Canadian Destroyer. Ibushi counters by landing on his feet and then Shining Wizards Yoshihashi to death. That was great.
Nice.
Loved it. Let's see. Crowd fighting. Oh, we got the balcony moonsault.
Nice.
The balcony golden triangle. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's sick.
Ibushi's feeling it, hits the missile drop. He's dragging this match to everything. This match is really good, and it's because Kota Ibushi kicks ass and it's everything well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, finish. Here's the finish. You ready? Talk about cool finishes. He's got the arms out for the Kamigoya, the knee thing. You know, he's holding your arms.
Yep.
And Yoshihashi counters with a headbutt, but he holds the arms still. So Ibushi flips him around, does a straight jacket German suplex, then straightens it back up and hits the Kamigoya for the win.
That's awesome.
Cool finish. 4.25 stars match. Would recommend.
Sounds excellent.
Real quick, right afterwards, Sabre Jr. and Tetsuya Naito.
Mm-hmm.
Always fun as shit to see Naito over as fuck.
Yes.
You know? Sabre took like 90% of this match. I watched this match live. Or I watched it unspoiled. I didn't watch it live. I watched this unspoiled. So I'm like, all right. See, Naito's in another leg locker. All right. Naito's in another armbar. All right. Naito's in another submission move because you know how Sabre matches are.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, he's going to make his comeback and get the win, right? And he would make a little bit of a comeback, and then Sabre would cut him off and get him in another wicked-looking knee bar or whatever. And I'd be like, all right. Sooner or later, we're going to make another comeback, and he's going to win. So, Naito's selling on point. Sabre's submissions on point. And then Sabre tapped his ass out. And I was like, oh.
Yep.
Actually, he didn't even tap his ass out because Naito couldn't use his hands.
Verbal submission.
He beat him with like a banana split knee bar finish. And it just looked brutal. And the crowd was so into this match, Chris, because they love Naito. And Sabre was just being just the giant bag of dicks, just locking him up. And, you know, Zack makes everything look painful. Everything.
Perfect.
Crowd willing Naito not to tap, and Naito screaming in agony, breaking the Tranquilo stuff because he's just dying. It was all Sabre looking dominant, derailing Naito every chance he got, and he looked like $1 million in submitting him. This was about getting Sabre over in the tournament as a threat, and everyone involved did a great job. And I think Sabre's winning this fucking thing. And I'm looking forward to Sabre and Okada, because even though Okada is going to win the match, I don't care.
That'll be a match of the year contender.
Zack Sabre Jr. is superb.
He is.
He is great.
Yeah.
I love him. I love everything he does. I know he and Okada are going to do some cool grapple fucking. I know when the time comes, he's going to take an awesome bump. You know, awesome bumps. I know they're going to have those cool uppercut exchanges that they do. And I know because Kazuchika Okada is the best wrestler on the planet and can do any style great, that this match is going to rule. So Zack Sabre Jr. is my pick to win this tournament. So
I can't disagree with you here. It's gonna be. Let's run through here. Just so we can get
sure.
through. So I named who was the initial 16, getting through to the second round of 8. Mm-hmm. Sonata, Toriano, Zack Sabre Jr.
Who did Sonata? I'll tell you about each match. I'll give you the 3 seconds of each match. Who did Sonata wrestle in round 1?
Sonata beat Chucky T in round 1.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
Toriano beat DBS Jr.
Oh, bad. No.
Yeah. No. Especially for, I'm looking at that 12 minutes. That can't.
Yeah, no, don't.
Can't have been good at all.
No.
We already discussed Naito Saber and Ibushi Yoshihashi.
Both great.
Bad Luck Fale beat Lance Archer. That must have been really bad.
Nah, not great. Not good.
Yeah.
What else?
Tanahashi beat your boy, Taichi.
Who's my boy? Oh, yeah. Good. Fun match. Fun match, Chris. Join the bandwagon. We got plenty of room. We got plenty of room on the bandwagon.
For you only.
Oh, come on. Taichi's great. Well, Taichi's good.
Juice beat Yujiro.
Yeah. I mean, the match was fine.
And King Fuckface beat Ishii for reasons like
this match ruled, and I felt bad for thinking this match ruled. So I don't know. I mean, I watched this match and I'm like, holy shit, this match is good. Oh, fuck me. It's basically my exchange.
Yeah.
So Elgin almost killed Ishii, like almost dropped him on his head. But Ishii doesn't have a neck, so you can't break your neck if you don't have it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
What was the second round matches?
Second round matches. Sonata beat Toru Yano.
No, Toru Yano does nothing for me. He's fine every now and again, but this is too much Toru Yano.
Our good friend Rev Kane, she is a big Toru Yano fan, but
I like him in small doses.
It's definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah, I like him in the G1 every now and again. Because he does his I like when he wrestles Minoru Suzuki. It always beats him.
Those are great. Those are great moments.
And Minoru Suzuki gets more and more flustered. Every time he faces this guy, he gets more pissed off. But this guy has his number. It's that I enjoy watching.
Yep. Saber defeated Kota Ibushi by referee stoppage.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the end of this match?
I did.
I saw with the elbows. With the elbows, holy shit!
I saw the clips of it, and I was terrified.
Yeah, this was great.
Like this, the human body's not supposed to do these things.
Nope. Like see why Saber's winning the tournament? Like they're making him look. He's beaten in consecutive matches Tetsuya Naito and Kota Ibushi. This guy's winning the tournament. He's winning this tournament. You know what? If I told you he wins the Intercontinental later this year, you would not be surprised, would you?
Hell no.
Nope. They are grooming. They are grooming Zaki Two Belts. They are grooming Zaki Two Belts for big things.
Hell yeah. Ghetto knows talent when he sees it. Can't say that he doesn't.
Another good dude in the business that needs more good dudes too. By the way. So
yes.
And I got drunk with him at a show, as I've told the story before.
That's awesome. I remember that story. That's a great story.
Yeah, I got drunk with him at an AEW show.
Ace beat Bad Luck Fale by count out.
No, Bad Luck. No thanks. Ace was good, but Fale just can't move.
Yeah. And thank God Juice beat King Fuckface.
Great ending. Elgin's just beating the shit out of him. Just beating him to death, and Juice is flopping on like a fish. And then he gets the roll up, and the crowd loses their mind.
Because the crowd fucking loves Juice. Right.
Everyone loves Juice.
Juice is amazing. If Juice doesn't have singles gold by the end of this year, I'm going to fucking riot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
He needs the belt. Give the man a belt.
What are the semifinal matches?
Semifinal matches, we have Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr., which should be a fucking classic.
Thoroughly. Oh man, that could be a low key top 20 match of the year.
Absolutely.
Maybe not a top 10 match of the year, but like when we're going over the year end awards, and when Voices of Wrestling ranks the top 100 matches,
one that we're gonna remember.
That could be like 18th.
Yeah,
it'd be like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Yeah,
that'll be a match to remember.
That will be a lot of fun. When is that? Do you have dates by any chance?
The semifinals are tomorrow night and Sunday.
So tomorrow night, as in like 6 hours from now, our time.
Yes.
And then Sunday, as in like very early Sunday morning.
Yes.
So I'll have to get up for that one. Tomorrow I can't because I have work, obviously.
Yeah, and tomorrow's match, for those of you who are planning to stay up after we go off the air, you get to watch Ace Juice. AC Juicy.
That'll be great, too. That'll be fun.
Oh, my God. I can't wait for that one.
Who do you think wins that?
Juice. I think Juice is going to the finals.
And you think he's beating? You think he's facing Sonata or Sabre?
I think he's facing Sabre. I'm with
Remember, weird shit happens with the New Japan Cup.
I'm with you that Sabre is going to be the one winning this.
Are you excited for Sabre Okada at Sakura Genesis?
Oh yeah. That'll be.
You know what? You notice how all these shows have been sold out, Chris? You notice who's taking the L on? They should have put the belt on Tetsuya Naito in January. This guy right here. I was 100% wrong. Ghetto.
So was
I. What you're fucking doing? No, I can't speak for you. No, I was 100% wrong.
I was off too. Yeah.
That was like the most depressing show we've ever done. the 5 hours after Wrestle Kingdom post game show.
We have to.
We were like talking
Tetsuya Naito not winning the belts.
Yeah.
And
we were like, this company's fucked up. We compared it to Austin Michaels. Like, yeah, we fucked up. We done. Your Intrepid podcast host done fucked up, ladies and gents. Every time you think Chris and I have all the answers, they change the questions.
Gedo is a brilliant fucking man.
He never deviates, man.
Yeah,
never deviates.
Well done, Sir Gedo.
New Japan Cup has been good. Yes. I would recommend the Tanahashi matches. They've both been good because it's more that Lion and Winter story that I like a lot.
Yeah.
So. And if you like Toru Yano, then I guess watch Toru Yano. But 12 minutes of Toru Yano and Davey Boy Smith Jr. is about 8 minutes. It's about 8 minutes too long. So
I'd venture to say it's about 10 minutes too long, but that's just me. Let's head over to our friends in Germany to good old West Side Extreme Wrestling, WXW, with the 16 Carat Gold tournament that happened this past weekend.
I have not watched any of this. Have you?
No, I have not, but I've read some of the match reports, and I have all the results, and I have heard some great things. WXW is low-key becoming the best mainland Europe wrestling promotion, like, by far the best. And they have some great people doing great things there. So the field is, again, another 16-person field. Running down the list, we had Keith Lee. In the first round, I'll go through the first round matches. Keith Lee defeated Avalanche in about 10 minutes. Pretty standard match. Keith Lee doing his thing because Keith Lee's the man. It's always good to watch Keith Lee fighting big guys. Chris Brooks defeated Alexander James. If you're a CCK fan, catch this match. Otherwise, pretty average stuff. But Chris Brooks, he's a very capable worker. He knows what he's doing. Lucky Kid defeats Matt Sydal. I didn't see anything about this match. I know nothing about Lucky Kid, but if you got the win over Matt Sydal, clearly you guys at WXW believe in him to do something. David Starr defeats Emil Satochi in the first round match. David Starr, we've talked about him. He's excellent. Fifth first round match, Matt Riddle defeats Damac. You might remember Damac from
Lucha?
From the Cruiserweight Classic.
That's not the guy from Lucha
not big Black Willie Mac. Not Willie.
Too bad. Big Black Willie Mac is pretty fun.
Yeah, no. Damac is he's a cruiserweight. He actually is he's actually from Germany. From Ludwigshafen am Rhein, Rheinland-Pfalz, Deutschland.
I love how the German language works like Legos. You can just block words together and they make sense.
Yep. It's wonderful.
You have a boat that goes under the water, therefore you have an undersea boot, and it works.
Perfect. Damac is pretty good, but Matt Riddle defeated him in 12 seconds. So,
oh Jesus!
Yeah, Matt Riddle.
Match of the year.
Matt Riddle didn't come to fuck around.
No, he didn't get paid by the hour.
Yeah. Travis Banks defeated Mark Haskins in what I'm told is a fantastic match.
Okay. You have my attention.
Yeah, that's a match that we might be seeing in progress at some point in the future, and I will be all in for that. Next up, Timothy Thatcher defeated Jonah Rock. Jonah Rock is a guy who I'm hearing a lot of buzz about. He is 29 years old from Australia. He is a big man, 275, 5'11". And his nickname is the Monster, so he's definitely shown up on a lot of people's radar, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of good stuff from him in the next couple of years. And then the final first round match, Absolute Andy defeats Marius Al Ani. I don't know anything about either of these two guys, but Absolute Andy is a dude who caught my attention when I looked at his stats. He's 6'3", 275. Is trained in Taekwondo and has a background in soccer as well.
Nice. So he's agile.
He's an agile guy.
So he's nimble.
He's a big guy. He's Luke Harper size. So,
nice. But he's got background in soccer. He's nimble on his feet. That's good.
So he's a guy, that's a name that caught my attention. Moving on to the let me see. Was there anything else important on the first night? That all happened on night one. Nothing else important happened on night 1. Night 2, we had the 4 quarterfinal matches and a bevy of title matches that were definitely worthy of notice. In the quarterfinal matches, first up, Keith Lee defeated Chris Brooks in 8.5 minutes in a match that I'm told was far too short. If they had gone 15 minutes, it still wouldn't have been enough because they put on a hell of a match. Timothy Thatcher then defeated Lucky Kid. David Starr defeated Travis Banks, and Absolute Andy defeated Matt Riddle in what I'm told was the best of the 4 quarterfinal matches.
Sounds like it. Matt Riddle's involved.
Yep. Also happening on night 2, we had a WXW shotgun title match. Bobby Guns defeated Speedball Mike Bailey for that to retain the title. WXW women's title, Toni Storm defeated Melanie Gray to retain her title. And the WXW Unified World Wrestling title was contested in a 3-way match between champion John Klinger, Ilya Dragunov, and Walter. Ooh. And title change, your man, my man, everybody's best friend, Ilya Dragunov, is now your WXW Unified World Wrestling title champion. Yes. And what I'm told was an amazing match.
Good stuff.
That match is a reason in and of itself to sign up for WXW's streaming service. Recommended with a 9.26 out of 10 among Cage Match subscribers. And then finally, night 3, we had the semifinals and the finals, as well as a number of other title matches. I'll go through the other title matches first. The women's title was contested in a 4-way match. Toni Storm defeated Killer Kelly, Martina, and Wesna in fairly standard women's 4-way. Nothing special there. Unified World Wrestling title, Ilya Dragunov retained against Matt Riddle in an amazingly good match. Definitely highly recommended. And then the WXW World Tag Team titles, champions Ringkampf, Timothy Thatcher, and Walter defended and lost the titles against the team of Mac and John Klinger representing the Rise faction. So Rise now holds the World Tag Team titles. And they seem to be making a run towards a feud against Ringkampf going forward. And they have quite the lineup of people. They've got 7 dudes in their stable: John Klinger, Mac, Ivan Kiev, Lucky Kid, and a bunch of others. They are looking like they are going to be making a run towards dominance in WXW in the year 2018. The semifinals for the 16 Carat Gold. First semifinal match, David Starr defeated Keith Lee. Another match I'm told was amazingly good. And Absolute Andy defeated Timothy Thatcher. Leading to our finals. Absolute Andy versus David Starr. And your winner of the WXW 16 Karat Gold Tournament 2018 is Absolute Andy.
Whoa.
Surprise.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Absolute Andy with his win. I am not entirely certain what the 16 Karat Gold Tournament win gets him. I believe it is a shot at the Unified World Wrestling title at a future date. I'll have to look that up to get further information, but all in all, 16 Karat Gold 2018 definitely delivered and is well worth your attention. Here's some more information on Absolute Andy. You want to know among his trainers, trained by among others by Chris Hero and Samoa Joe.
That will be is he a big dude?
Yeah, 275, 6'3", 275.
If I was 6'3", 275, and I wanted to learn how to be a wrestler, you could do far worse than those two.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Far worse.
Yeah.
So, props to him.
Definitely check out WXW streaming service if you were interested in anything related to 16 Karat Gold. They had an amazing tournament and a lot of Walter involvement. Speaking of Walter, if you have not seen, Walter is going to be having a DVD retrospective of his career with WXW and his work within the company to build it up. Coming out soon. I don't know if it's going to be released in American markets, but in any case, it's going to have a big retrospective of his career and a lot of his career highlight matches. Definitely worth the investment if you know how to speak German. So,
I know how to speak chop.
Who doesn't know how to speak chop?
Yeah.
Oh man. So,
is that
definitely
it?
go check that out. Um,
I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
just again, thank you to Snickers. That's
Thanks,
really
Snickers.
Snickers.
We dedicate this show to Snickers.
Yeah,
I was gonna have a long ass thing on Mae Young, on the Fabulous Moolah and actual in-ring stuff, but you know what? I don't want to waste any more fucking time thinking about her. So, thank you, Snickers.
Yeah, as we said either last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. The less amount of time that we have to spend on this show talking about scumbags in wrestling, the better off we all are.
Thank you, Snickers.
And there are a few people who are bigger scumbags in wrestling than Fabulous Moolah. So thank you.
And you know what? And even setting aside the scumbaggery, the women's revolution is a revolution from the style of wrestling that she popularized.
Mm-hmm.
The reason women's wrestling fell apart in this country is because it turned from actual wrestling with June Byers and Mildred Burke to women in TNA with long hair prancing around the ring. And she kept the belt for 10 years, and nobody gave a shit. And nobody cared about women's wrestling when she was on top. So you talk about the women's revolution, or women's revolution, evolution, whatever the fuck it is, you're revolving from her. Yep. She's the British, and you're the Americans in this revolution.
Yep.
She's fucking Cornwallis, and you're Mel Gibson in the Patriots. Like, so that's the best part of this whole story, is that nobody gets that.
Yep.
So, whatever. Thank you, Snickers. We dedicate our show to Snickers.
Yes. They're well done. Work well done.
Plugs besides Snickers?
Yes. Plugs besides Snickers. Oh, God. That felt good to say. Wednesday night shooting with Tiny Rogers and Andrew M. Swift. Definitely check them out on YouTube.
Radio.
Excellent wrestling radio. Well worth it. Well worth the listen. Well worth the YouTube subscription. Check them out. They know their shit. They are fun to listen to, and they are excellent. Thursdays during the daytime, we have the Dawson Report with Philip Dawson.
I will be on March 25th. We'll be talking NFL and NBA.
Oh, that's right.
Philip Dawson and I.
He moved
Philip
to
Dawson and I.
He moved to Sundays. That's right. I forgot. I thought he was still on.
I think Sunday's the best day for both of us because of the time zone.
Yeah. So
I think March 25th is.
Is that his other show? Is that the other show?
Well, he and I are doing. Well, we did a special about a month ago.
Right.
Talking about the NBA, and we're doing another one talking about the NFL and the NBA playoffs. So we're going to do a Sunday show, March 25th.
Okay.
It's not wrestling. Will not be wrestling.
Yeah.
If you want to hear two loud fucking Greeks talking about, pro sports, give us a listen.
Yes. Follow Philip at Philip Bexman on Twitter to get all the updates about when the Dawson Report is going live and all the other specials, including one with our good brother George here. Friday nights published via Cedar Bridge Media. We have Don Sal with match fixing. Always good to hear Don Sal. He knows his shit inside and out like no others.
Another good guy.
Check him out. And then Saturday mornings, our brothers in Los Ingobernables, the podcast Shooting the Breeze with Takers Media and Mr. Dr. Senju at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. Get your breakfast, get your graps. Start your Saturdays and your weekends off right with Shooting the Breeze. Excellent, excellent dudes. Our friends in Not Your Demographic at Not Your Demo Pod on Twitter. The Married Marks at Married Marks on Twitter. And Facelock Feministas at Facelock Fems on Twitter. Check them out. Subscribe to all of their content and make sure to tell them that Two Guys One Sport sent you. You can check out episode 54 next week.
54, man. Where's the time gone?
We will be talking about the finals of the New Japan Cup. We will be talking about the build-up to WrestleMania. We'll starting our 3-week WrestleMania introspective preview, talking about specifically next week. We're going to be talking about the non-title matches that have already been announced.
Yeah.
For NXT TakeOver New Orleans and for WrestleMania 34. So we'll be diving into some of those. So be sure to come back and check all that stuff out with us. And, of course, you can follow us on all of our social media and other platforms. On Twitter, at 2guys1sport, number 1 in the handle. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube as well to find out when we're going live every Thursday night with your episodes. And subscribe to us on iTunes, the link below the video in the description. You can give us a subscription, give us a rating, give us a recommendation. And, of course, let everybody you know that follows wrestling to come and check us out and to listen to our show, because we love having you people here. You're amazing to us, and thank you. And I'm going to stop singing now. George, get us the hell off the air.
As always, a sincere thank you for listening, tweeting, chatting, messaging us. We love the feedback. We love you guys. You're good people. That's Chris. I'm George. Don't work yourself into a shoot. And for God's sakes, be nice to each other. Not asking for a lot, am I, Chris?
No, not at all.
Be nice to each other. Thanks for starting your weekend off with us. We will talk to you next week when we dig into WrestleMania. Good night, everybody.
Episode 53 is in the books.